a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Superdome in New Orleans. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the Cincinnati Bengals. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Garoppolo looks to throw. Flushed out right. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That one brought back a few nightmares because when a quarterback gets outside of the pocket, your job as a defensive back, make sure you stay as deep as the deepest receiver and not let anyone leak behind you for a big play. A nice job there having discipline and not letting them connect on that pass.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They try and run on 1st down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the 1st half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the 1st. They'll get 8, but they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive because that's not enough. On 4th down, Michael Pilardi on to punt. Oh, it's a wobbler here. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. And he slips up past the 45. Tackle.
Anytime you eclipse 100 yards rushing, you deserve the acclaim that comes with it, and he got it. AFC Offensive Player of the Week last week.
And wasn't up around 200, wasn't in a crazy game, but very good, solidly in that driver's seat to win that award, and he did. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. Bulldozes past him. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
On second down and 4. Rodgers, throw right side, taken in by Gallup. When you think about the strong safety position, they're the more bulkier guys in the free safety, but that time, great athleticism to hustle in and break up that play. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 46 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They go with Chubb on second down. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1. Throwing is Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Aaron Rodgers taking it in from a yard out as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. Here's Chris Claybrooks to return. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Here we go, here we go.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And they will finally stop him, but a great return gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That that's a normal situation too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Second down, here's Chubb again. He will push his way down to about the 14. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down and inside the 5-yard line.
Now they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Chubb. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Nick Chubb. Touchdown number 22 on the season. For the Bengals, they widen their lead. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Clay Brooks to return it. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide.
Touchdown, New Orleans! Henry Ruggs, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead will shrink to 6.
Bengals 13, Saints 7.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Here's Isaiah Rodgers to return. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down. Handoff comes to Chubb. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 66 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
1st down, Bengals.
A run for Nick Chubb. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Following the penalty, Chubb. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down. So, CD, you talk about this football team. Some of the whispers and reports, the social media posts, they hint at a locker room that's splintered, badly splintered. There was talk earlier, some guys might walk away entirely. But that hasn't happened, however, at least to this point.
No, and sometimes some of that talk is just that, talk. I mean, guys often say, that's it, I'm out of here. And then they realize, I'm not ready to retire yet. What am I going to do now? And they're really ready to come back and dive back in. In fact, we've got guys who are wearing gold jackets in the Hall of Fame that talked about retirement the last 6-7 years of their careers. So that's not always real. And sometimes you just have to go ahead and ride it out. And this is an opportunity now for everyone in this locker room to move forward.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Now they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room,
and he works free, fights through, and now a crease. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jonathan Taylor, as the first half is winding down. And the Saints, if they convert the extra point, they'll have the lead. Extra point by Butker is on target. And that will give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Here's Rodgers to return. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
Isaiah Rodgers on the return. The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going as they take over here with 11 seconds remaining. On play action, Rodgers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. A final shot before half for Rodgers. Flush to his right. And he'll just get rid of it. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach.
Both teams going through their final halftime adjustments. We're about ready to get back to football. And to bring you the second half from the Superdome, let's go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline. Of course, we think of Aaron Rodgers as a pocket passer, but you and I both know this guy's a pure athlete. He can get outside and make plays with his legs as well.
I showed it right there, outside of the pocket and on the money. Rodgers now on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
The CD, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number probably grown since then.
I would agree with you, and I'm going to actually bump it up to closer to 50%. Only because they still have some tough games to come. And keeping that focus throughout the entire season, that's been a really difficult thing to pull off. But so far, they've done it, and they've done it well.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. 101 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
A give. This is Chubb. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. They'll try to draw now with Chubb. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They'll run with Chubb. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Rodgers will throw for it. That's caught at the 1. And he will get into the end zone again. And he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the two-point conversion. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Clay Brooks to return it. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
On second down now, it's Taylor. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They're going to run this with a tight end. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw here into the hands of the receiver, Judy. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's got a Bengals first down as he gets it up past the 35.
A gain of 9 yards. First down, Bengals.
Back now here live in New Orleans. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Chubb. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big connection on that one. 35 yards. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. Pushing his way through. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 151 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now Chubb. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
At the Saints' 2-yard line.
They'll give it to Chubb, and he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Nick Chubb with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Clay Brooks to return it. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A good gain on first. Has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Garoppolo, quarterback sneak. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
Okay, I'll admit it. I'm a little surprised by that call. 2nd and inches. It did what it was intended, but it felt like it was a free play waiting to happen. I thought they might take a shot.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. To the right side, this is Taylor. A beautiful spin and room to run. Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
There's another Saints first down. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
13. Here's Taylor. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And the Bengals grab it. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he bulls his way into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Bengals are going to be moving on to 12-0 as they extend their lead further. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Clay Brooks to return it. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can rush coming, and he's taken down. Sam Hubbard able to record his 5th sack of the season. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And trying to get it to Ruggs, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. As a quarterback, Charles, you have to imagine that he knew that heat was coming there on that snap. But this time, the pressure forces him into an interception.
Absolutely he knew. And maybe that's a spot in other parts of the game. He's going to think about just throwing that one away. But down late in the 4th quarter, he has no choice, no luxury. He's got to try and make a play. And even with that pressure around him, he tried to complete it downfield to no avail.
2nd and 11. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was